Hello, hello, my friends. Hard to believe. I know we say this every month, but we are already at the end of May. And I have quite a few candles that I finished burning through this month. I'm honestly pretty proud of myself and a little bit surprised by how many I was able to finish burning this month because I am a parent of three school-age children. I have a 15, 12, and 10-year-olds. And if you are a parent, you know that this was what a lot of us have come to call Maycember. It's almost just as busy as the Christmas season between all of the school assemblies and sports activities wrapping up. And we had our dance recital, and now the children are out for school or out from school for the summertime. It was just a lot of activity going on over the month. So I feel like the month of May didn't necessarily go by quickly, but it just was an incredibly busy month. Throw in Mother's Day, and I had a couple of friends that had birthdays this month. I was pretty busy. So I'm pretty proud of myself for all of the candles that I was able to finish burning here. You guys know that I love to talk, but I am trying to make this not a super long video. So I'm going to try to keep this introduction very, very short. A warm welcome to any new viewers. Hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk all things candles here on my channel. So if you love home fragrance content, please consider subscribing to my channel before you get on out of here. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. If you like Empties videos, it lets me know that you like seeing this, and it tells the old YouTube algorithm the same thing. Let's see, other things that I wanted to let you guys know. All of the candles that I am talking about today will be listed in the description box down below, along with timestamps. And quite a few of these candles do have dedicated reviews that I've already done on them. So if I have dedicated reviews, those will be linked down below as well if you want more information about each of these candles. I do have affiliate codes with Kringle and HOMEWORX, and my discount codes are also listed down below. But I think that covers it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and talk about the candles. So the first candle that I wanted to talk about is one that is actually a little bit surprising that I pulled out in the month of May, because if you've been with me for a while, you know that I am a seasonal burner. This fragrance doesn't exactly scream late spring, early summer, and that would be HOMEWORX Black Tie. Now, the reason that I got this back out was because I only had like maybe 3 more burns of it left. And I just recently picked up the Palo Santo Vanilla from Bath & Body Works. We all know how much I love that fragrance. And I thought that this would be a good like companion. I am the type of person who usually likes to burn 2 or 3 candles at the same time to kind of just fragrance my whole home. This candle burned really well for me. This was part of their New Year's collection. It was in a 3-wick. The fragrance notes on this candle are patchouli, aged bourbon, Palo Santo, smoked vanilla bean. I did originally have this candle in early 2023, and I loved it so much that I did repurchase it in early 2024, maybe late 2023 when it came back as part of the New Year's collection. I wish they would offer this in a 4-wick because I really like this fragrance. All of the fragrance notes that you smell here do come out. It's a very strong performing candle. I call it the James Bond of candles. It reminds me very much of like a very like sophisticated, sexy man. I think the name of it, Black Tie, is really appropriate. And I do have another one of these in my collection. I do really, really enjoy this fragrance from HOMEWORX. Excuse me, I'm really trying to like not have a coughing fit. I had to turn off my ceiling fan, which is really fun because here in Arizona, we are well into summer, and we keep ceiling fans going to help with the air conditioning. But the good old Palo Verde trees are still blooming, and so there's a lot of pollen around. And I find that when I'm sitting down and talking and I have a ceiling fan going, I tend to get some coughing fits. So if you hear me clearing my throat a lot, or I might have to cut and take some breaks to get some water, that's what's going on. Before we get into more candles, I did want to showcase this HOMEWORX Sugared Lychee Martini Gel Hand Soap. HOMEWORX did send this to me in PR, and we did finish this up. I really like these, you guys. I hope that HOMEWORX will come out with these in some of their like regular fall fragrances. Like if they come out with this in Harvest Leaves or Autumn Pumpkin, or kind of like some of their staple fall fragrances, I would definitely consider purchasing some of these. They're a nice gel hand soap. My kids enjoyed it, got our hands clean. So those are a nice product. I don't think I would ever purchase them for full price, but if you see them go on like a good sale, I think sometimes those show up in the discount retailers. I think that they're worth a purchase. Another HOMEWORX candle that I did do a dedicated review on, this is Glazed Blueberry Muffin. The fragrance notes on this candle are blueberry jam, lemon sugar, fresh pastry, and elderberry syrup. So this one I believe I purchased during the National Fragrance Week, and look at that, you guys. You can see how far down. I mean, I will give it to HOMEWORX. A lot of these candles, with the exception of one, you're going to see one candle I had an issue with. With the exception of one candle, these candles burn like almost down to the last drop. I'm really like, if you're somebody who's like, I really want all of the wax to burn, these HOMEWORX candles will do it for you. So this fragrance was nice. It was pretty strong for me. I said that that in my dedicated review on this one, that the fragrance of this reminds me a lot of like a store-bought muffin. It's not necessarily the fragrance of you freshly baking blueberry muffins. Can I speak? Goodness. It's not necessarily the fragrance of you baking muffins, but it's more of the fragrance of the muffin that is already out. It's got a little sugar glaze on it. It's still a lovely fragrance, but it's definitely different than like Kringle's blueberry muffin. Kringle's blueberry muffin smells more like I'm baking blueberry muffins. But this smells like the one from the store. I feel like this one, you guys, I'm trying to update remembering like strength and throw on all of them. This one was a pretty solid performer for me. I think it was around like an 8 in a hurricane. I could definitely smell it throughout the majority of my home when I was burning it. A really nice fragrance. Do I feel like it's like anything that I need backups of? No, but it was nice for what it was. All right, here's a fragrance that I do want a backup of. Blood Orange and Sage Gimlet. I believe this was part of the Garden Party collection. Fragrance notes here of blood orange, sage leaves, gin, and lime zest. And so again, this one burned almost all the way down too. You got a little bit of wax here, but honestly, you guys, by the time the wax pool gets that low, it's really not emitting any more fragrance. So sometimes you'll see more wax than in some candles than others, and that's usually because I got to a point where I was like on that final burn and I blew it out, and then I looked at the wax pool and I was like, I'm not going to get any more fragrance out of this. Anyways, dedicated review on this one. I love this fragrance. I was burning this with Kringle Candles Orange and Bath & Body Works Citrus Grove. Oh my word, that combination, if you love orange fragrances, absolutely loved it. Now, I will tell you that the orange fragrance that I get in here is not like a navel orange. It is kind of more of that sweeter, juicier variety, like a blood orange, a Cara orange, which are my favorite oranges to eat. Now, there is a little bit of a green note in here. It's not necessarily sage. I don't think that I'm picking up on. I actually think that it might be a little bit of juniper that I'm picking up in here, because gin, I believe it's derived from the juniper plant. But oh my goodness, I love this one. It was really strong for me as well. I know a couple of you guys said that yours was not very well scented. So who knows, you guys? That's why I always give you guys the dimensions of my home when I do those dedicated reviews. My home is a single story, approximately 1,800 square foot, it's about 20-year-old home. We have high ceilings here in the living room and an open concept into the kitchen, but then I have lower ceilings and obviously more closed concept in the bedrooms. But this one was a strong performer for me. This is one that I would like one more of in my collection, because this is a fragrance that I really thoroughly enjoyed. It was a little bit of a different twist on some of my normal citrus fragrances. I still have more HOMEWORX candles, but I feel like I kind of want to give some love to a variety of brands. So we're going to switch it up a little bit here. All right. Surprisingly, you guys, I was surprised at how quickly I went through this, but I love this fragrance so much. This is Bath & Body Works Santorini Coast. I do believe that the semi-annual sale starts online tonight at 6 o'clock. I do plan to go into my local store tomorrow to see what the offerings are for SAS. It is rumored that the candles, the 3-wick candles, are going to be $10.95. I did receive a 10 off of 40 coupon in the mail, so that's exciting. Anyways, you guys, fragrance notes on Santorini Coast are creamy coconut, almond blossom, warm vanilla. This is in one of my like top 15 fragrances ever from Bath and Body Works. If you happen to have caught that video last week, and you will know that I talked about this one. I did do a dedicated review on this. This is very much like a good creamy coconut type of fragrance. I think that it's a great neutral for the summertime. It blends well with a lot of other summery fragrances that are currently in my collection. It'll tone down maybe some of the sweetness if you have a super sweet, sugary, like cocktail type of drink, but it also amplifies maybe some of those more like muskier coconut type of fragrances. Overall, just a great fragrance. I do have 2 more of these in my collection. I have been burning them. Well, you'll see there's 2 other candles in here that I'll talk about, but this one pairs really nicely with a lot of those postcards from Harry collections or collection from HOMEWORX. This also pairs really nicely with vanilla coconut surf, which is another candle that I have here in my empties. I'll show you guys that one next, but this one was a strong performer for me, you guys. I would give this one a good solid 8 in a hurricane. It traveled really well. I could smell it very well, especially like in my bedrooms. I liked burning it in my bedrooms at night. But a great fragrance. All right, so I just mentioned the vanilla coconut surf, and this one you're going to think, what on earth happened here? Well, I'm going to tell you guys. This is why sometimes we really need to not be lazy about our candle burning, because I burned this candle in a hurricane, and something happened where one of the wicks started to move. It got too hot and the wick started to move, and it moved so closely to the glass here that you can see that it like burned through on this side. So that was a little frightening, and I thought, okay, that candle is done. I do have another one of these in my collection that's actually in my rotation still. Fragrance notes on this one are sweet vanilla, coconut waves, beechwood. I do think that this one and Santorini Coast are kind of cousins to one another, although this fragrance is a little bit more of a muskier coconut. If I happen to come across this one during SAS, if it's like on that like 75% off table, I think that I would purchase at least 1 more of these because I do really like this fragrance. It is also kind of like one of those good neutral fragrances for the summertime that pairs nicely with a lot of other candles. All right, just like I talked about the black tie candle from HOMEWORX, here's another one that I was a little bit surprised that I brought back out. But again, it was part of the trio of black tie, Palo Santo vanilla, and coffee and whiskey. My beloved coffee and whiskey. You guys know this one is also in that top 15 of my Bath and Body Works fragrances. Fragrance notes here of bold Irish whiskey, splash of vanilla, hint of coffee. I don't really detect coffee in here. This fragrance is like a very good sweet, creamy vanilla. I would say the whiskey note in here is not really boozy as much as it is like a sweet note to it. But it's not overly traditionally masculine. In fact, this fragrance is one of my favorite fall body care fragrances. I actually have stocked up on, I have the cologne, and I also have a couple of body creams in this fragrance because I love it so much in the fall and winter. This is another one that I would be very, very disappointed if they ever discontinued it because it's one of my favorites. This one I get pretty solid performance on. I would say it's about like a 6 without a hurricane on it. But again, you put a hurricane on it, you get good strength and throw. Most of my Bath and Body Works candles, I will be honest with you, do generally perform quite well in terms of the projection, but it's just the burn quality sometimes is so hit and miss. All right, well, you will go ahead and do, let's see, how many more Bath & Body Works candles do I have? I've got a couple of more here, but we will talk about those in a minute. So let me go ahead and talk about some Kringle candles. I'm always doing like candle Tetris here, and you're going to laugh here. So I keep my candles in, sorry, my mic is probably picking up on that, me brushing this off really, really loudly. Sorry, I didn't think about that. I keep my empties in a box in my garage, and I have one of those big like 5-gallon buckets. I buy the flour, like 25-pound thing of flour at Costco, and then I put it in that bucket. And so when I go out to refill, sometimes there's excess flour that falls on top of my candles here because anyways, the bin I keep it at is close to that other one. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Kringle Candles Gardenia. This candle was sent to me in PR, and Gardenia is a very nostalgic fragrance for me. My mom loves the smell of gardenia. I grew up in Southern California. My grandpa grew some gardenia and jasmine in his small little backyard there. He had a beautiful garden at his home, and this candle really reminded me of just childhood nostalgic memories. This also paired really nicely with that vanilla coconut surf. Cringle, I don't know if they're still running their Memorial Day sale. I am filming this obviously a couple of days before I put this video up. And as of this morning, the Memorial Day sale was still going on. And you guys, this is a great candle. I love these 3 wicks. The 3 wicks for that sale are 50% off. So if that sale is still running today, I would recommend purchasing this candle because it's really nice. The fragrance notes on this one are gardenia, white floral, jasmine, green musk, and sweet. And this to me is very much a good white floral fragrance. So if you like white florals, particularly during this time of year, I think that you would really like this one. The performance of it was really good. You will see, there's a little bit of wax left in this one. I probably could stick it into a crock if I wanted to kind of just get that last little bit of fragrance out. But this is a really, really nice fragrance. My teenage daughter really enjoyed this one. So I don't have any more backups of it, but it is a fragrance that I would consider repurchasing in the future. All right, another smaller candle that I finished burning from Kringle. No surprise here. This is, what is this called? Easter Chicks. Now, they don't have the fragrance notes on here. This is also lemon sugar marshmallow. So lemon sugar marshmallow came in the Easter collection in the larger 2-wick tumbler, but then they put them in the smaller, like painted jar. I think how many ounces are these? 12-ounce 2-wick jars. So I actually just finished this up last night, and you'll see it's a little bit sooty in there. However, that is because I actually had this candle burning for like almost 8 hours yesterday. I knew I was on like the final burn. So sometimes when I know that I'm reaching that final burn on a candle, I'll just let it burn all the way just to kind of wrap it up. We all know I love lemon sugar marshmallow. It's one of my favorite lemon gourmand fragrances. Really good. It's not really like a cake note or anything. It's just sweet, but it's kind of like got that lemon curd fragrance note to it. This one burned pretty well for me. Like I said, at the end here, I feel like the strength and throw wasn't as strong as it was in the beginning. But this one is a pretty strong strength and throw for me. I don't think that these are available anymore, but I do remain optimistic that maybe Kringle will bring this fragrance back next spring or summer, like just as like one of their like core line collections. That would be great because that fragrance was amazing for me. All right, another Kringle 3-wick that I believe is sold out. But if you like this fragrance, it is available in the country lineup under the title of, I think it's Watermelon Pops. This is Juicy Delight. So spoiler alert, you guys, Kringle 3-wicks are probably my favorite format that the brand offers. Just because for me as a reviewer, I'm always trying to get through my candles. I enjoy them, but sometimes the larger 2-wicks are just, it's a lot of candle for me to get through, especially when I don't want to say I feel the pressure, but like when I'm feeling like I need to be reviewing a lot of new fragrances for all of you guys, I like that these 3 wicks, I can enjoy them, but I can also move them out of my collection within a pretty reasonable time. So the fragrance notes on Juicy Delight are watermelon, lime, lemon, green, sugar, and watermelon. So I love this fragrance. Now, if you are somebody who wants a more natural watermelon fragrance, this is not the one for you. If you like Jolly Rancher watermelon, this is the fragrance for you. And I'm in that latter camp. I like this fragrance a lot. This actually was a repurchase for me. I did have it. I did have it in 2023. Yeah, that's when they released these. But I really love this fragrance. I would repurchase it again if it ever came back. They've kind of, I don't know, I've noticed that a lot of the 3 wicks, once they've sold out, on quite a few of those, they have not brought them back. So I don't know, but I do know that Mick has been teasing on his Instagram 4 wicks are coming soon. I, as an ambassador, do have some insight into some releases that are coming down the line, but I have not seen anything yet on when those 4 wicks will be released. But this would be a fragrance that if they produced it in a 4 wick, I would definitely purchase this. It's a great summertime fragrance. And then let's go ahead and talk about another candle that I did receive in PR. This looks like it's been through the ringer. I mean, like, I think this was the first candle that I emptied this month. This is Cake Pops from the Country lineup. So this candle was, again, another great like blending type of fragrance. It you can see that my wick moved over just a little bit on this side, and that was because I was burning this in a hurricane. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that Country Candle, these large jars from the spring and summer release, if you notice on the website, a lot of them are no longer available. They do have the medium-sized jars and some of the like daylights and wax melts, but a lot of these large jars have, I don't know if they've been pulled, because I know that they were receiving a lot of complaints about the wicks jutting out, like usually around this part. The wicks were getting very, very low flame. So I think, you know, they're trying to find the balance on these Country candles. Of last year when they reformulated them into 100% soy, the wicks were almost so potent that they were still soot monsters. They were still sooting quite badly, especially if you put them in a hurricane. But then they then they changed the wicks, and now the wicks that were in the spring release, quite a few of those, they kind of dudded out. Now this one for me actually did not. I did not have that experience with my Cake Pops. I did experience that with the lemon tea and roses and with the carrot cake fragrances. I do have one more large Country candle that is actually going to be in my rotation, and that is the Sun and Santal. I can't remember. I haven't started burning that one yet. I will do a dedicated review for you guys. But yeah, so I feel like they went to like both ends of the pendulum here. The flames were too big on last year's Country candles. They were too small on earlier this year. However, they are releasing some new Country candles in a summer lineup. I will have a video about that coming up very soon for you guys. So they are releasing some new Country candles this Thursday, January 6th, June 6th. My goodness, we are not in January. Definitely not. The weather is not January weather. Thank God. But anyways, they are releasing some candles this Thursday, and I have been told from our ambassador contact that they have changed up the wicks again. So they did not send out any PR for those candles. I will be purchasing a couple of them, and I'll let you guys know more about that in that dedicated video. But anyways, where was I at here? I feel like I went on a whole tangent there. The Cake Pops, it burned nicely for me. It's kind of a muskier vanilla type of fragrance. I don't necessarily think that this is like a cake fragrance. Like my ultimate cake fragrance is HOMEWORX Birthday Cake. But it's nice. It was nice to blend with a lot of the florals that I had burning throughout the springtime. So I liked it, but I don't think that it's one that I'm just clamoring for more of it. All right, so I've gotten these candles done. Again, we're playing some Tetris here. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not repeating candles or forgetting about candles here because there's just so many to talk about here. All right, let's go back to some HOMEWORX fragrances that I finished burning. Oh goodness, I'm already 22 minutes into this video. Speed it up here, Katie, speed it up. All right, this is Garden Bouquet. This is from I think the Garden Party collection. Fragrance notes on this are night blooming jasmine, white gardenia, pink rose, and honeysuckle. I did do a dedicated review on this one. Again, another candle that burned all the way good down to the last drop. This candle was very strong for me. If you happen to like old school Bath & Body Works Plumeria, that's what this fragrance reminds me of. It was a very nostalgic fragrance for me to burn. I really enjoyed it. It is one that I would actually consider repurchasing next year. I'm kind of out of the floral phase right now. Again, I'm a seasonal burner. I'm definitely into tropical, coconut, sunscreen, all of those type of fragrances right now. But if this candle were to make a return next year, I would consider repurchasing it because it was really nice. A candle that was sent to me in PR, and I did do a dedicated review on it earlier this month, is Watermelon Margarita. This is part of the Backyard Barbecue collection. Again, another one. Look at that, you guys. Good to the last drop, all the way down. Fragrance notes on this candle are watermelon, blanco tequila, lemon lime syrup, and sugar crystals. I will tell you that this is one of those candles that it smells different when it is burning than on cold sniff. Cold sniff, I definitely get more of that tequila note, but when this is burning, that watermelon really comes through. And unlike the Juicy Delight, this is not Jolly Rancher watermelon to me. This is very much like a natural watermelon type of fragrance. Very, very well done. I loved this fragrance. Do I feel like I need another one right now? No. But again, you guys, you have to remember my mindset is a little bit different than probably the average bear. I really have to prioritize. I will only repurchase fragrances that I feel like are just, I would really, really miss them if I did not have that fragrance again. And because I have this channel and I'm constantly reviewing new stuff, I just have to be a little bit more mindful about the things that I am repurchasing. But I do think that this is a great fragrance. This is a good summertime boozy fragrance if you like the way that Harry tends to do some boozy fragrances. I am going to set these down here because I'm a little nervous that things are going to drop onto my tile floor. All right, while we are talking about watermelon type of fragrances, here's one, you guys, that I'm disappointed. All right. Farmstand Watermelon. I love the pink gingham packaging. This is actually the second time that I've purchased this fragrance. I did purchase it last year on QVC when it was in the duo. Fragrance notes on this are watermelon juice, sweet honeydew, strawberry leaf, and crystallized sugar. Now, I do detect like kind of more of a fresh watermelon scent in here. And I do get a little bit of that honeydew note. The honeydew note is in here. It lends a little bit more sweetness without it being like Jolly Rancher sweetness. However, you guys look at this. You want to know what happened? This is one of those candles that I don't know how, I don't know when, I lost a wick. I actually lost 2 wicks on this candle. Like, they just detached and were floating around in the wax pool, and I only had the candle burning for like 2 hours in a hurricane. I was like, that's bizarre. You can see that I tried to like fish it out. I tried to rectify the situation. I tried to, pour wax out. It is just a lost cause, which makes me really sad because I was really enjoying this fragrance. I will tell you that this one did perform better for me in terms of projection and the strength of it, much better than the 2023 version that I had from QVC, which is also what makes this very disappointing. So I can't recommend this candle because I lost the wicks on it, but it's a lovely fragrance. But yeah, that was kind of a bummer. All right, another fragrance from HOMEWORX that I was really loving. This was from the Postcards from Harry. Why do I keep saying with Harry? Like we're sitting down and writing postcards with him. Postcards from Harry. This is Santorini. I really liked this one. This I wish was still on the Slatkin & Co. website because I believe, again, at the time that I am filming this, a lot of these Postcards collection candles are on sale for $18.99 right now. And you can combine my discount code with that sale. Fragrance notes on this are sea salt, cyclamen, bougainvillea, olive leaf. I feel like this fragrance really captures the essence of what I think of when I think of traveling to the Mediterranean. It's a green note. I shared in my dedicated review that I grew up in Southern California, which has a very similar climate to Greece, to the Mediterranean. So there's something that's oddly kind of nostalgic about this fragrance. Again, it's probably just the climate. But again, burned all the way down, was a really solid performer. It's a unique fragrance. It's classy. It's a different take. In fact, I would say that most of these, actually the 3 Postcards from Harry collection candles that I have, are all just like an elevated take on summer. That's the best way that I could put it. They remind you of taking a nice bougie vacation. They're not tropical drinks. They're not your stereotypical. They're a little bit outside of the box and more conceptual for HOMEWORX, but I've really appreciated them. And I think that this candle is on, I don't know if it's clearance, but there is still a set available on QVC. But that was a lovely fragrance. And I burned it with that Santorini Coast from Bath & Body Works, and that was a great combination. Another candle that was part of that collection is the Palm Beach fragrance. So the fragrance notes on this are sea grapes, orange blossoms, palm leaves, and lime. Now, a lot of people see the word sea grapes there, and you think that this is going to be a grape fragrance. It's not at all. Sea grapes are actually, I believe, a plant that they grow kind of down like in the Caribbean area. I'm not sure. I'm not as familiar with Palm Beach. Let me know if you live in Florida or if you're familiar familiar with the habitat of Florida a little bit better than I am. But when I was down in the Caribbean about 2 months ago, when we were on the island of Roatan, Honduras, we actually saw some sea grape plants growing down there. One of our tour guides was talking about that. Anyways, Palm Beach. This is another fragrance, again, sophisticated take. It's so funny because this reminds me of, I said in my review, I feel like Harry and Laura's home in Florida would smell like this. It smells like an upscale community, like the homes that would be in a nicer vacation area. You're not right on the beach, but kind of a little bit more, I don't want to say like suburban type of vibe, but I don't know. This one, it has a different type of vibe to it, but it's still kind of beachy, vacation-like. Again, elevated take. It was a good performer for me. Again, burned all the way down to the last drop. And then let me see here. Is this the final HOMEWORX candle that I have? Yes, it is. The final HOMEWORX candle is one that I actually finished last night. This is Farmstand Strawberry. Would you guys believe this is the first year that I have purchased Farmstand Strawberry? I've always been a little bit hesitant about strawberry fragrances, which is why I think it took me so long. Fragrance notes on this are farm fresh strawberries, red raspberry, currants, lemon zest, and crystallized sugar. Now, this candle, again, I probably could get one more burn out of it, but honestly, I don't think that it's going to emit a ton of fragrance. Last night, I could even tell after burning it for quite a few hours that the fragrance just was not projecting as much as it normally does because it's at the very end of the burn. But this is a very like sugary strawberry type of fragrance, kind of like that bakery gourmand. There's no cake note or nothing like that. There's no frosting or cake note, but this is very much like a sugared strawberry type of fragrance, slightly artificial, I would say, to my nose, but still really delightful. I did enjoy it for what it was. I could see myself repurchasing that one next year. While we're talking about strawberry fragrances, here's a tale of two different strawberries. This is Kringle Candle Reserve Juicy Strawberry. Now, this is the one that I had from my collection last year. And I did do a dedicated review on this one as well. I finished burning it yesterday. You guys, this one burned like all the way down. I kept thinking for like the last 5 burns that was going to be my final burn. No, it was like the Energizer Bunny. It just kept going and going. Now, this fragrance is probably the most authentic strawberry fragrance I have ever smelled. It does incorporate a little bit of that like green stem note. I can't remember where it's listed, if it's like top, middle, or bottom notes, but there is like a tomato vine accord listed in the fragrance notes on this candle. And I will tell you, you do get some of that in this candle. It smells very much like real strawberries that you've just freshly picked off of the vine, and you get a little bit of that green stem. It is lovely. We all know that I really, really enjoyed pairing it with the next candle here that I'm going to show you that I finally finished burning up. But spoiler alert for tomorrow's candle collection series update video, you might see another one of these in that video because yes, I did repurchase this candle. I really, really enjoyed that one. All right. What I enjoyed burning Juicy Strawberry with was Easter Brunch from Cringle. Boy, doesn't it feel like Easter was such a long time ago now? I feel kind of silly holding up an Easter candle, but alas, here we are. I loved the packaging on this candle, the speckled glass. However, these candles burn dirtier than a son of a gun. All of my Easter candles did. I don't know if it was the vessels, if it was the wicks, who knows. So this fragrance, I have said numerous times that I believe that this fragrance is what Bath & Body Works Almond Croissant was striving to be. You get the good, dense, buttery, flaky croissant, like a pastry note from here. But it's really, really good. I do have a backup of this. And this was actually, between this one and I would say the lemon sugar marshmallow, those were the 2 strongest candles I had. Well, no, the carrot cake was really strong too. All of the Easter candles were quite strong for me, but very strong performer. It's not available anymore, but this is one I know a couple of you guys have suggested to Cringle, and keep writing into them because you guys, they're really good about listening to feedback. I think I'm in agreement with a lot of you guys that I think this would make a great addition to like a core lineup if they brought this back, saying that it was called like Sunday brunch or something like that. I think it would be a great addition to the Kringle lineup. All right, another candle from Kringle that I finished. This was a candle that I received in PR. This is Coral. So I really enjoyed this fragrance. This was another one that I enjoyed pairing with other candles, like for evening burns, just kind of like a calm, relaxing vibe. I said in my dedicated review of this that I think that this is kind of, if we are looking at fragrances, kind of like in more of traditional descriptions, this to me feels like a feminine counterpart to Kringle Candles Sea Salt and Tonka. I feel like the two of them would pair with each other really nicely. If you want kind of beachy spa-like vibes, but not necessarily, it's not screaming lavender or eucalyptus or any of the fragrances that we normally associate with a spa vibe, try this one. It's really nice, really good. It's a softer type of fragrance. Like I said, I burned it at night and I really enjoyed this one. So it did have the lid got a little bit wonky on that one for me, but you can see pretty clean burn all the way down. So that was a really nice candle, and that one is available in the 3-wick as well. All right, and then I have 2 more candles to talk about, 2 more Bath & Body Works candles. I went through this one pretty quickly. This was Bath & Body Works Citrus Grove. I think it was Kent from the Candle Channel said that he believes that this was a repackage of, was it fresh orange, something orange. It's already been, he says it's already been done. I can't say that I disagree with him, because I do feel like this is a fragrance that I have had before from Bath and Body Works, but I'm not a great like historian. I haven't really kept track of these things for years and years. I'm still a little bit, I don't want to say I'm newer to this. I've been burning candles for a long, long time, but in terms of like really starting to pay attention and keep track of all of the candles that I've purchased and whatnot, I've only been doing that for a couple of years. So fragrance notes on this are freshly picked orange, sparkling citrus, lemon twist. A couple of you guys said that you felt like this smelled like citronella to you. I didn't really get a citronella vibe to this, but I will tell you that there is like a woody element aspect to it. It does smell more like like a citrus tree, which like you're actually going through like citrus groves. We actually have quite a few of them here in Arizona. Yeah, it's a nice fragrance. It's not a must-have. I'm not going to be looking for backups during SAS, but it was a nice fragrance. That woody element definitely comes out a lot more on burn. This one burned fairly cleanly for me. I think my friend Connor said his burned really, really dirty, but mine, I mean, it's a little bit sooty. You can see some soot, but it wasn't awful. And I did not get puny wicks. That is one of the things that I'm going to give kudos to Bath & Body Works, because you guys know that I tend to harp on them a lot about their candle performance. But I will say, for the most part, I did not have any bad candle performance with them where like I had to dump out a bunch of wax and then relight it. So that was good. Finally finished up Blueberry Lemon Sour. This was a Candle Day purchase from 2023. Fragrance notes on this are sugared lemonade and blueberry sugar. Just a very candied, kind of artificial. I would say the lemon sour note is a little bit more dominant than the blueberry note in here. But I always like pairing blueberry and lemon, and it was a nice fragrance. Is it anything to write home about? No, but it burned pretty well for me. Again, you can see it went all the way down. So pretty good. So you guys, I burned 21 candles this month. Yay! I'm pretty proud of myself for getting that all done. Like I said earlier, all of these candles, if there are dedicated reviews, I will have those linked in the description box down below for you. Any affiliate codes, let me know in the comment box down below. Are these any candles that you have experience with? Fill us all in. You know, I'm only one voice in the candle community. I know I say that all the time, but you guys, your opinions are just as important as mine. And as long as you remain respectful of myself and others within our community, I always encourage you guys to give your feedback about how candles are performing for you, candles that I have mentioned here in this video. But that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty glad that I finished this many candles, because there are some things coming up in the month of June that I see myself probably replenishing a lot of the candles that I finished up here. So I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. Please don't forget to hit thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.